All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. We've got a lot to talk about today. Ty, are you good?
Am I good?
We got to start with you. You look focused. I'm opening up a brand new store tomorrow, and you look more focused than I am.
Yeah, I'm incredibly focused. I'm here, and I'm focused. But 5-5 is staring me in the face. Wednesday morning, our podcast launches. No, I'm working on this big project with Gary on his kind of upcoming NFT ecosystem launch, which I'm pumped about. But that's not to be precluded. Well, that is to be precluded by a massive day for you. I'd love to hear how things are going, and I appreciate you sneaking this quick hour in to get a nice recording going.
Yeah, this is, I was telling Lou earlier, it's been just like nonstop busy, right? I mean, every day this week I told Lou I've been like 11:30 would be like a good day to get out of the shop, just pricing cards and sorting and just getting so many different things ready for it, right? It's, we were so worried along the process, like, oh, hey, not going to be able to open in time, not going to be open time, just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And then here we are, and it's like we waited 5 months and it still seems like there's a million things to do. So it's, I talked about it in that little docu-series thing we're working on YouTube about like, creating this. And it's like, just the process has been, I'll look back later, years from now and be like, the process was really what made it fun. It's just, although it's been stressful and, hectic at times, it's been, super fun to be able to build it.
And is the building directly across the street from you?
Yeah, it's literally 150 yards away. I mean, it's close.
Nice. Your dog's excited about it?
Yeah, they've been in the cages, we've been trying to get it ready today. So
I haven't been able to get enough TLC from y'all.
So they're just nonstop. So
nice.
But anyways, we talked a little bit on last episode about the NFL draft. It's happened. It's over. Just want to kind of get your guys' quick take on what you thought and, what excites you about this class.
I couldn't be happier with how the draft turned out. It's been a phenomenal weekend. I got my quarterback. I got a new left guard. I got a new wide receiver. But the most important thing is that Ryan Johnson is now attached to the hip with Jared Stidham and Mac Jones. That is the future of Ryan Johnson, and that makes me
You're out on
happy.
Mac. You're not stashing Mac rookies.
I'm gonna pass on the Mac rookies, and I think Ryan might have to force himself to buy a few.
No, he's stacking Macs.
So for cards, Mac Jones will sell, right? Look what Stidham, right? Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels quarterbacks will sell, but nah, I'm not. And I was, watching the draft and I posted on my IG story and it's like the Bears have traded up in front of the Patriots and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, please no. Like they're not going to take Fields. They want Mac Jones for sure. Like Mitch Trubisky-esque. Like they're definitely not taking Fields. Like that doesn't know. I'm just like, no way. So I'm like just recording. I'm like, oh, come on. It's like with the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Bears select Justin Fields. And I'm like, oh,
pain.
God.
Pure pain. You wanted him bad?
Yeah, it's like, why couldn't the Niners mess all this up from the start and just take Mac Jones? Or like, why?
What an all-time weird smokescreen by them. I still don't understand what they were trying. Other than, obviously, unless they were trying to convince the Bears or the Patriots. I mean, it must have been the Patriots to try to trade up and take them. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I mean,
tough.
I'm in the Sam Darnold selling business. I'll tell you that much.
That poor guy. That's our guy. No one will give him an offensive line. No one will give him any offensive line.
And it's funny. You saw the draft. They're like, yeah, look at all these great things the Jets are doing to get you weapons and protections once Sam Darnold leaves.
Yeah, I heard Kuiper was like freaking out all weekend long or the first night about the Jets trading Darnold.
Why, you wanted him to stay?
Yeah, he basically was like, I don't understand what they're doing. Like they could have traded him or kept him and then traded number 2 and gotten all this stuff.
Ryan, have you seen much of the Trevor Lawrence Tops product?
No, I missed it. I haven't seen any singles of it. I've been really away from my phone for the last week as I've tried to get
Have you
this.
kept the shop open?
Yeah, yep.
How's biz at the shop?
Uh,
Footy? Are people coming in
UFC
for some
Prizm was
soccer
definitely
cards?
asked about. UFC Prizm was asked a lot. We had a lot of people ask
Really?
about that. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, the last 2 days I really wasn't there much. I've just been so this place is gonna be cool. So just been focused on that.
Lou, did you get into any UFC
Yep.
Prism?
Yep. I bought 2 boxes, one to rip, one to sit on for a little bit. So I ripped one over the weekend. I think it was Friday night, actually. It was Friday night on Instagram Live. Nothing nothing super stood out in terms of like super rare that I got out of the box. But all of the variations are doing pretty good on eBay. The autos, 2 autos I got were like $200 each. If I sold everything, I got one Connor insert, a fireworks insert. So if I sold everything, I think I'll get close to making my money back on the box, but I'm gonna wait because I think this UFC product has a lot of legs.
First Prism, right?
First Prizm ever, yeah.
Before we move on too much, I want to. NFL draft is my favorite thing all year. It's my stuff. I want to ask you
Unfortunately,
guys.
it got ruined by Mac Jones.
Yeah, no kidding. But this talk will make up for it. So I've got my take, but I want to kind of get your guys' feel in terms of the card market from where people were drafted. First thoughts on maybe, hey, this guy might do well. This guy's gonna have some potential. Maybe a sleeper. Maybe hey, I'm curious. Like one of the things that always stands out to me is like great college team, great pro team. Najee Harris is a great example. That guy's gonna sell well. Pittsburgh is a popular market in football, and Alabama is the powerhouse in college football. Like that's a great one that stands out to me.
Mm-hmm.
What's kind of on your mind in terms of like, hey, who's going to sell?
I thought
who
about
you think
Jamar Chase.
Who?
Jamar Chase.
Bengals wide receiver?
Yeah, I think, the connection that he has with Joe to begin with, and then just the possibilities of those two guys together for a long time is really, really interesting. I thought about Jamar Chase, and I really liked Rondell Moore as a sneaky one, too.
Rondell Moore smoked Ohio State one year.
He's a really good player,
him.
and him and Kyler could be interesting.
With a lot of speed.
DeAndre. Yeah.
Who's buying Micah Parsons cards?
Micah Parsons. That's another good one, though. Micah Parsons was an animal in college.
Monster.
I am a Buckeye right through and through, but that dude is
that the guy who ran like a 4.3 40?
He's just an absolute
linebacker
specimen. Yeah.
in Dallas.
He's a pure middle linebacker. For me, it's the most obvious, obviously, T-Law, Trevor Lawrence down with Urban Meyer. I think that they'll turn it up. There's a lot of heat on Florida now. All of a sudden, people like Florida. It's cool. It came from nowhere.
Not Jacksonville.
It had a bad rap two years ago. But yeah, I know. But now they got Urban Meyer and they got Trevor Lawrence. So all of a sudden, Jacksonville is going to be hot. They're past like the whole Jersey thing and doing weird stuff and Minshew. But then I'm just going to double down on Justin Fields. I think he's going to be a beast. I think he has that pizzazz and swag to him. I'm not sure if Wilson has that juice. And the Jets got a lot of work to do in terms of brand. And like I think we've become smart enough. I'm not sure there's going to be juice around the kid until there's actual action happening. I mean, he wasn't a super nationally televised guy in college. He's coming in. I think the assumption now is failure ahead for him with the Jets, which I hope turns around, but I'm not sure leading up to the season there's going to be much action on him.
Something we talked about Thursday night was as we were hanging out watching it was like situation. Because if there was ever a time where I was like so sold on someone, it was Sam. And there was just never any surrounding talent and nothing was made to build to success. And on the other side of that, and I still hold this, is I never thought that Josh Allen would be interesting, but the Bills were like, what we're going to do? We're going to surround him with as much talent as humanly possible and play to his strengths. And so my hope is what we did in the draft, the coaching staff, everything lends itself to growing the quarterback. And then because a lot of these guys are pretty similar in talent. So the situation, I think, is the determining factor. So I'm hoping that it works out.
I just feel like this class, it's so much similar to like the Zion, like the market's, hotter than it was 5 years ago. Like even the 2018 class was good, right? You had Baker, Darnold near the top, and you had Barkley. Like the fact that you had the 5 first-round quarterbacks, and you had 8 in the first 3 rounds, then you had all these other premier guys. Like you've got some great defensive backs. You got Parsons. You've got all the wide receivers. You've got Najee Harris. It just like this class is built very well for the card market, right? The first 3 picks being quarterbacks will carry this class alone, especially with Trevor Lawrence being the top of this class. Again, with the same hype or similar hype to Zion, like Fields going to a great team while they may
That's why I think
they may not have an amazing offense like Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney isn't exactly the best 2 wide receiver combo in the league, but that defense is good. Like they're built to win. This class has
Allen Robinson is a top tier receiver to start off with.
Sure. I'm not saying he's bad. It's not necessarily what Tom Brady's throwing the ball to.
Fair.
Or Mahomes.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, do you think we start to see more juice on the position stuff?
I think offensively, especially like a lot of the guys in this class are going to sell. Najee Harris is going to sell very well. He's going to start. He plays for one of the best card markets in football. The Steelers stuff always has sold.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's Alabama, right? Like he's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna sell.
Yeah.
Now again, we're almost on a year from Clyde Edwards-Helaire Donruss selling for $43. We need to have that same argument that when Legacy comes out here in a couple weeks or Prizm draft picks, don't go buy Najee Harris Silvers for $75 because we're gonna do this in a year. And that's what I cannot wait to do that. Just by the way, when Donruss football comes out, I cannot wait to see what Clyde Edwards-Helaire Donruss rookies are selling for and go back a year. Because right, people are so caught up in the moment. But he'll be great, but don't buy the first thing he's got.
Basketball. Is the juice returning?
I'm not sure I've got the answer for that.
Are you seeing any senses? No, Lou?
No. Not in the way that we're talking about, like the juice for basketball. I think it's the same thing, bro. Like people are just getting me to the playoffs. That's all that matters. Right, it's big time capped right now.
What's it like 8? There's like 7, 8 games. LeBron just came out was like not a fan because they fell into the play-in.
Yeah, after saying he wanted it a year ago.
Yeah,
that was tough.
They got that Marvel. That's tonight. So by the time this drops on Wednesday, that'll be coming out on Monday. It'll be unique and interesting to see. We were supposed to have Jay pop on for a second. He was down in Miami over the weekend making some bargain bin plays, but I think he's been tapped out by the second Corona shot. And then we also saw this morning, there was just some news floating around. I think it was from a couple of days ago. And again, we're recording Monday afternoon. By the time this drops, right, you're going to be, you're going to be in your new store. But what I was going to say is eBay, it just came out, the CEO said that they're going to dabble. I mean, last week Topps came into NFTs about a year ago. I'm trying to think fall is when we first started talking NFT stuff. Card World was upset about it. Now you're starting to see the blend. And then boom, eBay CEO came out and said that they're looking into it. NFTs are selling on their platform, VV. eBay just did an official deal with DJ Ski that has a physical product and a digital product. And the eBay CEO came out and said that they're looking into accepting crypto payments, paying out in crypto payments, and selling NFTs on their platform, which I think is going to be pretty cool and goes back to just what we've talked a lot about, which is both. At the end of the day, it's collecting. And there's sports cards. And if you want to say, okay, I only do sports cards, how do you feel about Pokemon cards being included. Okay, I only do sports cards and Pokemon cards. What do I think about Star Wars, Marvel, etc.? So as the onion just keeps going out, it's a matter of both, and I'm really excited about that eBay development.
Yeah, I mean, I saw. Am I wrong, Tyler? That Golden was talking about this too before, like they were doing something similar. Seems like
Yeah, they're
that's
taking NFT, they're taking cryptos and all
They'll
that.
pay you out in it too.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it seems like this is the way the market's going. Again, I've not, from the start. This is something I'm I'm uneducated in, so it's something that I have to get more educated on and learn about it. But I mean, it definitely seems like it's the way it's definitely where the market's going.
Is that a zipper appearance, Lou?
It was.
Nice. You mentioned that you saw an article on Vice about Pokemon.
Yeah, there was a interesting insight into it was basically a deep dive into what's happened with Pokemon, what we've talked about over like in cards in general over the last year. And it was interesting reading it from like an outsider perspective because it was clearly like, they read the PSA blog and they did some research and they talked to a bunch of like collectors and things like that. So it was interesting to see that outsider perspective reporting on the market.
I remember you sending this. It says, I need to explain to you just how dire America's Pokemon card crisis is.
Yeah, like it's a little bit dramatic and all of that, but it's always funny when you get people from outside the industry and outside the hobby talking about it. But yeah, they use words like dire and like very dramatic terms like that. So it was kind of funny.
Like saying things are not good or what? I'm confused.
Yeah, more like essentially along the lines of like, this is a crisis for the people who work for the companies. The collecting world has changed. Collectors are upset with that and things like that.
Interesting. So a little less dramatic than you may think.
A little less dramatic. What do you mean?
Like you don't like, is the market does it talk about like the market just being like permanently gone? Like where do you see?
No, it's more like the people are overwhelmed. The companies are overwhelmed. There's this craze, etc. It's not that the market is bad,
etc.
Yeah, they don't know what to do about it. That type of stuff.
Interesting.
Well, the market's down. That's one. Talked about that a little bit last week, but in general, things are starting to get soft. Are you virtually petting Zipper right now?
Yeah, it's an NFT pet.
Nice.
Can we sell that?
I mean, can we talk about how for the past like 18 months you've really not been a proper football fan? It gets huge, and now you're a big F1 guy.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to say I'm at the forefront of the F1 collecting community, but I would probably call myself an influencer.
Got it. Who's your favorite
Lewis Hamilton? He's really good.
Oh, got it.
And then there's a guy named Max Verstappen. Don't test me because low key I do know the people who are in it.
Okay. What team?
So
what
what
team
you're
do you
telling
support?
us is you know more F1 than you do about soccer.
By a country mile. It's not even close.
Which team do you support?
I really like Mercedes. They're like the big bad evil empire.
Mm-hmm.
Red Bull is historically pretty nasty, but Mercedes has taken the lead in recent years.
Got it.
Because they have the Michael Jordan. Well, they have like the LeBron of racing in Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, monster. Are you stacking LeBron or not LeBron's? Are you stacking Lewis Hamilton's?
No, because they're really expensive, but I want to. I'm trying to figure out the right way to get in.
So I have a new content series that we're about to start pushing out that I'm excited to give you guys the lowdown on. I think we scratched the surface. Set number 137 in all the sets.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. I was just thinking about that the other day, that we should have like every 137 that's ever been released.
You know how long that would take?
Brian, it's called collecting. It's a hobby. It's something we enjoy. Don't be a hater, bro.
Guy's building out a massive store that he's been working on for 8 months. Guy has his own like chase cards.
I'm just thinking
he's been buying every Genesis ever created, and then he's complaining to someone else.
I mean, how many 137s are there all time? Over.
I don't know, man. How many?
I was about to try and collectively go through how we should think about it, and you just come out like that.
You ever hear something called pizza reviews? Review every single piece of pizza ever eaten. That's not the point. The point is the journey.
Yeah, exactly. Document the journey.
You're not wrong. I was
Show
wrong.
people that you're putting in the work.
That was
What
an
I was going to
amateur
say
move
is
on my
like,
part.
what is the first, where do you start? How do you think about it? What's the first kind of set that you chase down? Do you go old or modern? How would you guys play it?
You got to go backwards from modern. I feel like that's the play. You start modern and go back because there's going to be a lot less because I don't think card sets were that big like way back in the day.
Personally, I would start with find one of the more iconic cards.
Mm-hmm.
That's 137, like the Grail. Like when I did the Genesis set, I found the hardest one and then worked backwards from there. Because once I had the best one, I was committed to like acquiring everything to go with it. Yep. Yeah. So find one, get committed, and then fill in the pieces once you have the one.
And do we go graded, like lowest grade possible, and just like try and grind it up, or do we go raw?
I think you go raw.
Yeah, I like the raw.
Yeah, like I mean the 2010 Bowman Chrome Prospects first Bowman of Jose Altuve is number 137.
Boom.
Like gas me up.
Yeah, all day. That's fire.
The Astros.
Bernard King, 1986
right?
Fleer.
Yeah, I mean Cristiano Ronaldo
Mega Cracks is probably the big one.
We're a content factory over here, right?
I mean 2018 like NBA Prizm. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find out. But we're gonna stack some weird stuff. I'm pretty pumped about it. So let this begin the journey to collect every number 137 card in sets.
Yeah, like I love. Let me put it out there for people. Like, there's nothing that makes me happier when someone rolls up on me at a show and they're like, "Hey, I got you these Jets cards." I love that. Instead, if you happen to come across a 137, swing those our way.
Random. I'm trying to think like Skybox. Some random dude. Maybe my card might be bent. Zipper might have got into it a little bit. We want it. Zipper gets into your cards. I know about this.
All right. Well, I think that is enough for that. I think we need to jump into Play of the Week. Again, Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles. As always, if you are new, this is a segment where Jay, our producer, shows us all of fan-submitted plays for what we think could be our Play of the Week. Tyler, Lou, and I have never seen these. We'll filter through them one by one and pick which one we think is this week's winner. All right, so our first one is from MGA3415 on IG. His name is Matthew. It says, bought 2010 Panini Justin Bieber 6 blasters from Walmart online for $20 each, and these 32 loose packs on eBay for the price above. Loose packs can be risky, I know. Plan was to keep the blasters sealed and rip the packs, but I ripped the packs and pulled 2 Bieber Drake number 145 rookies. Kept one and sold one for $400. The blasters are now going up for over $100 now consistently.
Wow. So this could be the pop culture thing. Yeah, the pop culture thing is popping off. It was a big over the weekend. I saw a bunch of people talking about it, but this is. So you paid $32 for 31 packs. Or sorry, $32 for 32 packs.
$1 a pack.
Right? Yeah, $1 packs.
And those packs could have the Biebers in them, the Drake one.
I would love to know when he bought those packs.
Same. Either way, Matthew, I respect the play. I'm trying to figure out these, like, I would just say if you're I mean, there's just things keep going deeper and deeper, and there's so many stones to unturn.
And as always, gotta love the sell one, get rid of the risk, have nothing in the rest. I mean, gotta love that play.
Yeah, it's the make sure you get more than one. I also like keep sit on the blasters, sell the packs. It's good stuff. I like the play. And OG Bieber is OG Bieber.
And I mean, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's not like Drake's probably more relevant. I mean, those are. It's not like Justin Bieber and some no name. I mean, Bieber and Drake on the card. I mean, that's got huge potential. I mean, besides T Swift or Beyonce, I mean, you're talking about people.
Two legends.
You're talking about legends of the last 15 years.
Yeah, and OG Bieber again is like Mood. Obviously, Drake, but the thing is, Bieber been on the come up for a long period of time now.
I mean, this is like, it's like getting a LeBron Darko versus a LeBron Wade. Like, you'd rather have LeBron Wade than LeBron Darko.
It's
Bought the
almost
packs on April 13th, so they're still relatively new. Okay. He flipped this in 2 weeks.
A lot of heat.
Pretty good.
A lot of heat. I like to
Good
play.
job. Next.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so this is from Swook _ on IG. His name's Andrew. He says, back in January, I purchased a sealed 1992 Marvel's Masterpieces box and I ripped it. The thought of it was that there are high chances for the name brand heroes like Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, etc., while the risk was conditioned for such old cards. I sent the sub at $65 per card before the PSA price hike, and out of the 13 cards, 18 of them got 10s, while the rest got 9s. The 10 Spider-Man sold for $2K on eBay. The Black Panther, Hulk, Magneto, and Iron Man sold for $49.30 as a lot. $4,930 to clarify. The rest sold between $125 and $250 the same week the sub arrived in my hands. Long story short, I put $1,245 into the play, including grading. The outcome was a total of $8,475 and almost 7x play. You will win some grading plays and you will lose some as well, but this was definitely a win for me.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I like this play because I know Lou looks at a lot of this kind of stuff a lot where it's like one thing's going up, so you try to find like the second thing or the third thing that like someone hasn't thought of, because this is right when that 91 set was popping, Lou.
Mm-hmm. The 90 91.
Yeah, so that was going off. So it's like, okay, cool. What's the second or third best thing? And then you find something like this, and then
I think we sometimes we not shy away from, but like we say you shouldn't like buy boxes and rip them. But I think with stuff like this, it's still so early on them. The boxes are cheap enough to get the cards out and grade actually works out more often than not.
It's going to be really interesting to see. Like, I'd love to know if this individual still grades these at 300 per.
Mm-hmm.
And then if not, how does that play out with, does that increase the value of these? It's also seemingly like there's some more stringent grading going on. It's just going to be, we'll have to see what the deal is. I'm very fascinated what is now being graded versus before. And obviously the margins aren't going to exist. We've talked about it at length, but because also the turnaround is seemingly quick. There's kind of like some fringe cards that I'm like, might be good to have in long term. If you could sell for $550, $600, or even just sit on it. A couple cards I want slabbed. That $65 per card is a lot different than $300.
Yeah,
in terms of capital in.
Agreed.
I think it's more going to be, you'll be able to submit less. Like most people are going to be able to submit less. It's not going to be they're not going to submit at all. You're going to have to just be more patient with, all right, I'm going to send this one in, sell it, send the next one in, sell it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Good one.
Next one. All right, so this is from Sports Card Lord _ on IG. It says, bought 5 sealed boxes back in October for about $700. Pulled 6 Halan rookie sticker first edition. Sent off to PSA with a different submission groups, different grading levels, 5-day, 20-day, mostly 20-day, 1 5-day. Got the 5-day back as a 10 and sold for $9K. The other stickers seem to be centered in perfect condition corners and surface as well. If all gem, looking at $50K profit. My mistake would be not submitting all 5-day, but during the time the market wasn't hot yet for Haaland and the return wasn't there yet. So these are 2019-20 Panini Foosball box, 50 packs. He bought them for, it looks like 100. What is that, Lou? About 120?
105 each, something like that. Because
Okay.
it's quantity 5 for $650.
Yep. So he bought, yeah. Wow, that's
130. That's that math. It's a good play. I mean, and Holland, these are definitely down since April 20th, which is like a week and a half. I think
They're really
population,
not, though, because the last one did 8,900. After that.
8,900?
After that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 9 days later.
Which is April 29th,
Uh-huh.
Thursday, less than a week ago. That's good. Yeah. Talk about a miss by me. I respect the play. Boxes, man. These, all three of these are like bangers. Bangers.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about this before with other plays of the week about setting them in separate group submissions, separate time levels, so they're not all in the same sub, right? Because if all your stuff you think is PSA 10 worthy, you send it in all in the same time. You're not getting 10s on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one, Jay. All right, so this is from Melbourne_cards. It says bought a first edition Blaine's Charizard for $140 US plus import fees last year. Sold on the 10th of April in Melbourne for $885 US. I noticed that stock levels of this card were low in Australia, so I'd be selling in isolation rather than competition. Worked out well. I like this play. This is a supply and demand play. This is selling to the people that have access to it in your area.
That's funny.
That's kind of interesting.
It's a sneaky little play for
Yeah.
the international folks.
I'm
That's
just
called
like,
research.
the one thing that I'm trying to figure out is the one that he purchased denotes kind of heavily played. Kind of PSA CGC first. You know, like I'm just a little, feels like there might be some sneakiness going on here. And so I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you buy something that says heavily played, and then you've got to throw out PSA or CGC in the title.
Yeah, which I generally don't love and can't, really, even if you're monetizing it, I can't be super about it. I can't see the picture close enough because it looks like there's some dingage in that top left, pretty good, like right above the word Blaine. And then kind of a strategic like photo away to maybe not capture that. Not sure if
you're not wrong.
Yeah, because these are the moves that people pull, and then you claim like I never said it was bad. Now I don't want to completely just attack Melbourne cards, but even just in the titling, you got someone that throws out heavily played, and then you got someone that throws out PSA CGC first. I don't know what first was after first edition, but
probably
it says first edition. But it says first edition top left.
So yeah, but it's first. Probably it's another way. It's it's like
the classic first versus first. Yep.
So I'm indifferent. I can't put a stake in the ground for this play.
I'm aligned. Agreed. Next,
Jay. All right, so this is from Dylan Fitzgerald. Love this play. I got to mention about this. It says bought 4 retail boxes and some extra packs 2011 Upper Deck Soccer at a flea market last year for $127.20. Pulled 7 Alex Morgan rookies. Odds said I would get about 1.2 cards per retail box, so projected 5. So I thought it was money well spent. Paid $55 per card to grade, so I'm all in at $529.70 for grading, shipping, and insurance. I sold the PSA 9 and 2 PSA 10s for $1,679. That's about $930 profit so far after taking out eBay fees, and I still have 4 PSA 10s left. I plan on holding at least 2 or 3 to closer to the Women's World Cup in 2023. If I sold the other 4 now, I would be looking at about $3,500 to $4,000 in profit, but still at $900 plus profit for now, plus keeping a few. This is awesome on an original $127 investment. Receipts and sales proof above. I actually did something very similar, probably end of last year, earlier this year. I don't know what. I think we were talking about something with Alex Morgan rookies, and I went out and a local collector was mentioning what these boxes were, and you can get them on eBay. I bought 6 of them for $70 a piece. And they mentioned her stuff's really low pop. And I think when PSA gets caught up, the pop could go up. And I think that's what could affect the value of this card. Mm-hmm. But the pop's really, really low. And you could get, like I said, Dylan said, you can get a couple of them per box. So the odds made sense on a couple boxes. And I was like, I just think this is going to be, this has good potential, right? Morgan's a legend for the
Oh,
US
yeah.
team. So I like this play. I think this is a great play.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this.
Low key, like he paid 127 for 4 boxes in October. Is that what it says? Or last
Yeah.
year? The last box sold for 280. So even
They
the
weren't-
boxes of
they've gone through the roof. I bought my boxes earlier this year for less than $80 a box.
wow. That's awesome. Good job, Dylan.
And Jay chimed in from the side saying, why hold till 2023? I respect the diamond hands, to be frank, because the heat, we all remember the heat of even when the women's were popping. The Women's World Cup really gets going. And I think that if you are a long-term believer in the health of the hobby, I foresee Alex Morgan being a blue chip asset going into 2023.
Yeah, and it's like legend status. Like she's pretty. Tyler would know better than me, but I feel like she's pretty close to like legend status in U.S. women's soccer.
Yeah, but again, the same argument I've talked about this a million times, right? Like, is Dylan's only meth? Is Dylan only a flipper, right? Is he going to keep these forever? These grave cards? Are these something you're passing down to your kids, or are you intending to sell? Because my argument would be waiting till 2023. The money
on a card like this,
the money you could grade and flip and do all that with in the next 2 years, you'd be able to make a lot more than that card's going to go up.
Yeah, because if we use the argument that it's a pretty basic card and the pop's going to go up pretty dramatically, or not pretty dramatically, but it's going to go up, this wouldn't count as a card that you really could hold. I'm not going to say should, but that I would hold for 2 years.
I mean, if you can
regardless
get
of status,
700 for a 10, and you've still got 4 left, sell 3 of them, 2,100, even making 10% every couple months. I mean, you could just do so much more with that than that card's going to appreciate.
Yeah, like even if he sold all 4, he could probably get a way better Alex card.
And again,
really
that's only if you're a true collector and you're like, hey, Alex Morgan's my favorite, then cool, right? I'm just talking.
Yeah,
right.
Still in the Olympics, maybe. Is that it?
That's probably it. All right, so that looks like it's it. Jay, can we flip back through him?
I don't know what just happened. Something happened.
You're back. You're here. Hello.
I'm trying to get back here.
All right. So we've got the Marvel cards. We've got the Drake Bieber. We've got the Blaine's Charizard. We've got the Haaland sticker. And then we've got the soccer play.
What were the first 2 again?
The Drake Bieber card and
the Marvel.
Haaland, Blaine's Charizard, and Alex Morgan.
Run that from the top for me real quick.
Bieber, Marvel.
What do you got, boys?
I'm gonna go Marvel. I think it's the highest upside, right? Like, regardless.
What's
like
my man's name? Top
bucks.
left.
Swook. Oh, Andrew.
Who's the rock? No, who's like the rock guy? The card. Sorry, the
Thing.
Card. Is it the Thing?
Yeah,
that's a cool card.
Like just his face like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then we're just I know he took the pick. Holland and Herbert weren't in this lot of what he sold, right?
No, I think he just took a picture of the little card he got graded.
Got it. Respect.
Yeah, I think this is it for me. I think getting the box. I mean, selling all of those and making $2,000 on just the Spider-Man is a W, and then he has another 4 or 5x. I think is the best one. Because
I was in the Alex Morgan. I was into the 2011 retail boxes before. I really like that one. I think that's super cool. But and I think the women's soccer market has a lot of potential long term for sure. But because the Marvel ones are gone, I would agree. I'd pick the Marvel. You sold all the Marvel. You moved. You cashed in. You could have waited. Maybe got more. You could have sold and got less. I love the ability to sell them, move on, and make your money.
7x is huge.
That's $8,000. That's my winner.
All right. Well, respect to Andrew. I was going to say Bieber because I think that it's just those are timeless.
Agreed. Tyler, when I think of things like this, though, it's like, what happens if you bought those 32 packs and you don't hit one?
Yeah.
Like the part of the play is getting lucky and hitting it. I mean, having
Mm-hmm.
the 42 rip them, but I guess the Marvel play did the same thing, so I can't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot
you
of
went in
good,
for
lot of good
32
buy
packs.
boxes. A lot of good buy some
Yeah,
boxes.
no
rip 'em and
kidding.
flip this week.
Yeah.
people were really ahead of the game on.
Jay's popping in and saying no Holland, no love for the Holland. I respect the Holland. I feel like maybe we've just seen the Holland a lot. Maybe like Holland.
I mean, everything Tyler told me about this guy is that he's going to be a nobody because they're not going to play in real games. So
That's a poor summation of what I've said. I've never said he's going to be a nobody. I've simply said that I missed the boat on a generational talent. That's
well,
what.
also they're not playing in big. You told me they're not playing in big international matches.
He will not. He won't.
So that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be an all-time.
It's never
And
affected
then you
Mike
said he's a
Trout.
nobody.
It's never affected Mike Trout or Connor McDavid.
It's true.
You haven't seen Mike Trout play in a real playoff series.
That's what I'm saying. That's the same argument you're making for Holland. He's not going to play in meaningful games. Mike Trout's never played in a meaningful game.
It's a fair point, but what happens if Mike Trout does play in a meaningful game?
Great. His stuff's going to go up. He still sells incredible. My argument is for you, Tyler.
He's on your side, Ty.
That what?
Lou's saying, why are we buying Holland? He's not going to play in meaningful games. I said, cool, that doesn't matter. Mike Trout's never played a meaningful game, and he sells better than everybody.
Yep. The reason why I didn't go into Holland was because of that. And I still do think that come this summer, when he's on the sidelines, and come next winter when he's on the sidelines, it's gonna kind of be like, wish he was in the mix. But he gets hobby love. Like, it's crazy. I mean, we've talked about this. The majority of people buying and selling soccer cards don't watch soccer.
They should just buy F1 instead.
Yeah, and not watch F1. I get it. But you watch F1. You're an F1 diehard.
Huge
Now we know.
Netflix show. Phenomenal show.
Yeah,
Either way,
I'm a Tour de France guy, so be careful because
listen,
I got some
2022 Miami F1. I'm not saying I need to be there, but it's kind of life or death.
Are we going to do a pod from the pit?
I'm so down. Let's just get Verstappen and Lando just in the mix.
I'm into it. But can we talk about Tour de France cards for a second?
Before we move on, do got to give some love to eBay again, because that was Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles. But go ahead with your F1.
I was just going to say I'm a big Tour de France guy, and it feels like
I'm into Tour de France as well.
I've never looked into the plays, but there might be a play there.
Tour de France for soccer.
For me?
I mean, the U.S. Postal Service team went hard.
Yeah, listen, I like when America succeeds, so I'm going to go with the Tour de France. The other thing I like about the Tour de France is no one calls it France. It's just the Tour de France.
So true.
It's never been called France by anyone, but for some reason, we call it the Tour de France.
It's a great point. I'm definitely picking up a couple of that.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's rich.
Yeah, real quick, shout out to Jay. He did a good job.
Yeah.
No mistakes this week, even with the vaccine. We'll give him love for that for sure.
Yep. Shout out.
Oh, the Tour de France.
So before we wrapped up today's episode, we've got latest launch. So we've got everything for this week. Couple things coming out. I think the big one, though, is got to be Flawless Football. That's the expensive release for football every year.
What else we got?
You've got Crown Royal Basketball, Tier 1 Baseball, Impeccable Soccer. You got some Yu-Gi-Oh! Ancient Guardians Booster, Onyx Vintage Football, and that's it.
I'm pumped for Impeccable Soccer. I had a fun time ripping that Immaculate Soccer the other night that Cherry hooked us up with. We had fun. And then where's this golf release?
It is currently scheduled for next Friday.
I'm going hard. Bryson DeChambeau.
Are there boxes available online?
They were
should be
pre-selling
pre-order available, right?
crazy amount the other day.
Rye, real talk. good luck this week. Good luck.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for the boys to show up. And we're road tripping out there, and then we're doing a pod live from the gutter.
I can't wait till that happens.
Only $1,000 a box?
It's sneaky.
For what?
Degenerates like golf.
$1,000 for a box of artifacts? Are you kidding me?
But isn't it supposed to be like a high-end product?
No, it's like artifacts. Hockey's like
all right, relax, bro. I'm asking.
So
$100
artifacts hockey, I think is $135.
Yeah, no one plays hockey.
There's real confusion. Wait a second, what?
Yeah, artifacts hockey, I think we have at like 130, 135, something like that.
10x is a lot, Ty. I don't care what you say.
Golf is hot.
No, it's not 10x hot.
That's Prizm football on release day hot.
No, Ty, that's Prizm football on release was $1,000.
All right.
When you put it, hold on 1 second. You were really hot, and then when you heard that, you got it.
Well.
All right, guys. I gotta go. That's all we got for now.
The Tour de France.
Peace.